Hello and welcome to Through the Mist with me, your host, Owen. This is a Void University podcast where we look at the law and try to understand how it all works. In this episode, we'll be looking at, well, this podcast. Hey, Mythbusters! Welcome back! Haven't we got a special one today? Yes, that's right. Today, May 30th, it is the 5-year anniversary of Through the Mist. That's right, 5 years. 5 years. 5 years. Oh, and look, I know we just celebrated the 1 year anniversary like 2 episodes ago, but that was a joke, and this is serious, because we have now been producing content for 5 years. 53 actual episodes, and a handful of other little extra bits, but 5 years of producing content, and I wanted to celebrate. So, we have got a thing. I've got to reminisce. We're going to have a 5-year retrospective. That's right, 5 years retrospective. And I'm just gonna talk, and we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna listen to some clips, and it's just gonna be a nice time. And yeah. But to let you know if it is current Owen talking or past Owen talking, we have a sound. I have a special sound, and it sounds a bit like this.
Hello, and welcome to Through the Mist with me, your host, Owen. This is a Void University podcast where we will look at the law and try and understand how it all works. In this episode, we'll be looking at the move to America.
Oh, episode 1. So calm, so quiet, so scared, so timid, so nervous about the world, so nervous about what will happen, what could happen, what might happen with this wonderful show. Whereas now you've got me, who does this, and this, and this, and just kind of is an idiot on the mic. And I have fun, we have fun. Like, in this first episode, there's not even the flair at the end of me going, Miss! It's just, well, take a listen.
3.t.mist@gmail.com. Rate, follow, subscribe, do all the things. I've been Owen, and hopefully you come back next time as we try to see through the mist. Hey, do you get it? Do you get what it's called that now? Yeah, cool. Bye.
See, nothing, absolute nothingness. It's just, but there has always been that little bit of talking after the episode. That was there from day one, people, day one. Oh, man. Like, it's crazy to think that one of the reasons I started this 5 years ago was that... Oh, I've got a bit planned. I hope it works. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I thought of a pun. I thought of Through the Mist as a pun, and I was like, I'm not letting that go to waste. Like, genuinely, 50% of the reason I started this podcast is because I thought of the name of the podcast and went, I can't let that pun go to waste. That pun is too good to waste. The other half being, I was genuinely thinking about a lot of the early episodes, which is kind of running through my head. And I just didn't have the motivation to research it. But if I was to record it and then put it out there, then it would be, wouldn't it? It would be done. However, a stroke of genius on my part was making this a monthly episode. A monthly series. Well, just one a month, though. That's your target, is one a month. That's all you're going to have to do. Especially when I started, I had a lot going on at the time. And it really genuinely helped me be able to do this. Like, I actually was able to keep this going and produce this content for 5 years, which is cool. It is cool, isn't it? Isn't that cool? And I was able to, actually do the research, 90% of the time. Looking at the last episode in particular here. But what is sad, talking about research, what is sad is that I have lost my notes for episode 1, which I think I've said before. But I did all the research and then I created the accounts for everything. And when I tried to move the stuff over, I forgot how Google works. And I tried to copy it over. like a Word file and it didn't work. So I lost the notes for episode 1, which is kind of sad, really, isn't it? But, and talking the early episodes, man, what a time to be alive in those early episodes when you're trying to work it all out. Like, I definitely remember, like, episode 2 being, like, a mission statement. Started episode 1 of, like, why America? Because that always bugged me. And then episode 2 going, you know what? I am not just a Percy Jackson podcast. We will be looking at it all. So for episode 2, we're going Kane Chronicles. We're looking at the Dawns. And, like, that second episode started putting the groundwork in for a lot of how we would talk about the world, how I would try and fit everything together, how basically saying this is all one magic system. All magic is from the same place. And then next episode, I start finding my groove. I had a little bit of additional audio in with the have a bit of rambles. And then it's the first time we get a shouty mist as well at the end of an episode. Like, we're getting there, we're moving. And then we get into it quite nicely in episode 4, where I have my Britannia sidetrack. And the more I think about my Britannia sidetrack, the more I think that and episode 2 really set, like, the groundwork for and the foundation for all of this is magic. All of this is based off human perception. That is how this law will work.
But Britannia isn't just the name of the Isles, and I got sidetracked because it's also the name of a goddess, the personification of Britain itself. But it's really hard to see if there's any clear origins of the goddess. It was struggled, but far as I can tell, it was definitely Roman origin. But then things happened, and I'm not sure how much of our modern idea of her is linked to the Roman idea of her. So yeah, she was a Roman goddess called Britannia, and now, in modern times, she's usually depicted holding a trident, a shield depicting the flag, usually the slightly older flag when the Union of Crown happens, and an olive branch. Olive branch? Why is there an olive branch? What's that have to do with anything? The olive branch comes from her Roman origins as Minerva, and if you've listened to this, you should know Minerva was Athena.
Yeah. Okay, so how's this episode going to work? How are we actually going to do this? Well, you might have noticed that clips are happening, and you might have seen on the Instagrams that I posted a story where I press play on every single episode of this podcast, starting at once. And that's because I did this. I listened back to every single episode to find my favourite moments from the past to share and reminisce with you all. Just cuz why not? Because it's fun and it's cool and I enjoy it. And one of the first things I was looking out for, because there's some bits I remember doing this sort of bit. One of the first things I remembered and was looking out for was me going, you guys don't message me. Where are your messages? Well, come on, where are your messages? And I found them.
Get in touch either through Instagram @foo_mist or email foo.t.mist@gmail.com. Either or, don't care any, but it makes it more of a conversation, doesn't it? You say things, we can talk about it. Big old conversation. Everyone gets a voice. I've been alright. You been alright? I don't know. No one ever messages me or anything. I would love some form of feedback from you guys. Any form, really. Going, hey, Owen, you're doing great. And if you want to give that feedback, which no one replied to, yet again, I'm pointing this out until I get a reply from someone. Subscribe, whatever it is you do on the podcast services, and talk to me, please. Please. Pretty please. Still haven't had any correspondence from anybody. Remember, always feel free. Email foo.t.mist@gmail.com, or you could DM on the Instagrams at through_mist. If you want to get in touch and, just talk about one of the theories I've discussed, or go, hey, Owen, here's an idea I've had. Here's a headcanon theory thing I've thought of. Do you wanna check this out? And I go, yeah, I'll do an episode on it. Hey, that's always fun. I thought I shared my ideas, and why don't you get in touch with yours, and maybe we'll talk about it next week if anyone does, because no one ever does. So hey. This is going to be a running theme whenever the first correspondence going to happen. It's going to be a very big deal on this podcast. All working all right for you. Still no correspondence from anyone. So, that bit that I mentioned right at the start of episode 1, where I talk about any correspondence right at the start and then we can have a discussion. Still hasn't happened yet. But just to remind you, if you want to, because this is Owen's ramble section, if you've never come to this before, this is where either, if anyone got in contact with me, because no one ever does, last month, basically much when the last episode came out, which no one replied to. I have 0 engagement. It's sad. I still haven't heard from anyone, so I have no idea. So remember, you can email through.t.mist@gmail.com or follow the Instagrams at through_mist and send us a DM if you want to voice your opinion on any of the thoughts I have, or you want to go, hey Owen, I've had this cool idea. Do you think you could shout it out in an episode? I'll be like, I'll read it and I'll go, yeah, most likely, because no one's done it yet. So just remember, you can always do that.
10 different... I think this happens 10 times. 10. I found 10 examples of this. I think there's actually a few more that I just didn't put in because they were in weird points and I was like, cutting around that's going to be annoying. But there's 10 clips of me just going, where's your episodes? And another bit I started to look out for was actually horrible history audio references. To be honest, when I started looking for this, I thought would occur more. But I have found them. How the perception of them has changed over time. Because in the medievals?
Oh, admittedly, the Middle Age was evil.
Measly Middle Ages. Gods and goddesses as well. Whether mortal.
Groovy Greeks.
And so did the Romans, but they were also Christian. So, who invented it? The Christians or the Romans? That is a question and a half, isn't it?
Rotten Romans. Frightful First World War.
Okay, so
whatever Beyonce or Taylor Swift are doing still represents the country that they're from in some ways.
yeah. Should we learn a bit about history now? The fun, terrible, boring bit.
Yes.
Groovy Greeks.
Okay, so this is editing Owen here, and I just want to come in quickly and say, I thought it would be funny to do a horrible histories bit here because history, you get it, and but there's not like an American lick, so we've got Groovy Greeks. You've got the Groovy Greeks. Okay, this is what you've got instead. Now just have fun and enjoy the rest of the episode. So history time, and I want to be clear about this. Is I learned all this from basically one source. I double checked it against a few others, but as a British person, I have not learned much about American history. See, told you, found them. You may have noticed in the first and last clips there were guests. There are guest episode clips. Yes. And let's be honest, I can't have a retrospective without talking about the guest episodes tonight. So, we've had 12 guest episodes in total on this podcast. 12. Plus, I'm not going to count. I don't count it as a guest episode, but we also technically, I guess, had cameos, maybe, better word, from everyone on the that joined us for the 1 year anniversary special. But yeah, so we're going to run through, we're not going to run through them all now. I've got a plan, but they'll be sprinkled in. We'll talk about all the guest episodes. So let's talk about the clips you just heard. The last clip you heard was from episode 43, when Braden from Return to Camp joined us on this podcast. And one of the fun things I found with that clip is that when I play it, I go, there's no American thing for horrible histories. There's no indent for American horrible histories. And I'm about to talk about education bias. And like what I just have, like I'm about to talk, and it's like, there you go, education bias in play right there. The best educational TV program in the world is a British TV program and there's no American indent. What does that tell you? And the first clip comes from the first time Horrible Histories is mentioned, which was also a guest episode. And that is episode 20 with Fran from Best Damn Camp. That episode sticks out in my brain, like as one of the things that I think about when I think about guest episodes and funny moments is from this one, where we talk about centaurs from Cyprus. She eludes him, and he feels like he still needs to relieve some tension, so he relieves it over Cyprus. If you don't know what that means, good.
Don't look it up. For the love of God, do not Google that.
If you want, there's a little...
No,
It's in Wikipedia, if you just Google the Zeus Aphrodite horn origin thing, if you really want to know what I'm exactly talking about. But, it doesn't say it exactly, but it does say it. Anyway.
No, oh my God.
So
Zeus.
This act over Cyprus led to the horn centers
Cyprus
occurring.
Oh God.
So there you go. Cyprus got splattered, and I tried to be relatively. I never attempted to start this podcast being PG, and then I went in and then I got through a year without not being PG, and I've set the tone. So this is the tone we live with. However, sometimes it's rather hard, guys. Okay?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There was a joke I was ready to make of the fact that he relieves tension and makes horned centaurs. What does horn sound like? The horn is because of horn dog Zeus.
See what I mean? It was a weird time. A weird time. And talking of Fran, that's not the only episode they came on. They also joined us for episode 28 alongside Katie from the Damn Snack Bar. And this was another episode that I remember just being a fun time. Just a fun time to record. And, like, it was such an odd topic to talk about as well. Why did we do that to ourselves?
I would like to think that Percy is part fish, which I would really accept if Poseidon was part fish and was pregnant. Like a seahorse?
Oh, that'd be cool. It's like
Maybe
a seahorse.
Sally did get pregnant, but then Poseidon carried like a seahorse and then gave birth. I don't know. It's really got away from me. But they're not pregnant for that
Either
long.
way.
Maybe 3 months would make sense for a seahorse. I feel like that's long enough for one of them to cook in there.
Maybe.
Hang on, let's look.
Maybe Poseidon.
How long are seahorses pregnant? They are 30 days. It would work.
Okay. Here's how it goes down. Seahorses. Seahorses. Look, so we've jumped ahead a bit there. But if we go back in time a bit, if we head backwards in time, there's one thing I've definitely got to mention, and that is the first time and the creation of the name Mythbusters. You're Mythbusters now, and it was another pun, but the name of the podcast was a pun, and so are yours. It's just, why not? Why not be a pun, you know?
I've come up with a group name for you guys that listen. Probably about 5 of you that actually listen to my podcast. For you true fans out there of this podcast, I have now come up with the name Mythbusters for you. It made me laugh. It's a pun on Mythbusters. So we're now Mythbusters because we are busting open the mist. Trying to see through it. All the wordplay that I have going on in this podcast. So now I'm going to, from now on, refer to you lot, the listener, as a Mythbuster. Because why not? It's fun. Hope you like that name. If you don't, give us with better suggestions. So, the other thing I want to talk about is to do with what we're looking at today, which is the Hunters of Artemis. I might put some music first, because this might go on for a bit, and it's a bit of a rant. We'll see. We'll see what editing Owen did. What I want to talk about.
And sure, Owen, put a weird ding and explosion here, because why not? Be awkward. Talking about weird sound effects, which I'm going to be honest with you right now, they are most of these clips. Most of my favourite moments are me doing silly things in the edit. So you're going to get a lot of weird, funny, clippy moments. But the first time that happened, the very first time, episode 6, with a boom sound effect,
Have been claimed by Apollo. And this is where my head went. But that doesn't make sense. Because the gods claim the kids.
and then later in the episode, a rewind. Whoop whoop. Editing Owen is appearing. The course of him is appearing.
And I found myself on a blade of obsidian. Restart that one. You might get another. I might be pretty fun. And found myself on a blade of obsidian. And found myself on a blade of obsidian.
But now, let's talk about a section that is not a weird editing moment. And that is from episode 5. Like, yes, a lot of these moments are weird editing moments, but there were a couple, a pinch, a sprinkle, a dab that's not weird sound effects. Like this one here.
And a thought occurred to me. And it was all to do with demigod's smell. Does demigod's smell increase when they hit puberty? Is it like how you sweat more and start to smell more when you hit puberty as well, usually? That happened to me. No matter what, they get their biggest smell, according to Grover. 12. Why is it always 12? Is that puberty thing, or is that just Rick going, I'm making a teen book for my kid who happens to be 12, so I need a reason for them to be 12 that's not awkward and weird.
See, that wasn't a weird sound. It's just a very weird topic. Unhinged, some might say. I certainly do. I remember, this is genuinely a shower thought. I was in the shower and washing myself, cleansing one of the smells, and going, what of his puberty? What if smell is puberty? And just like having nowhere to shove it in, so just boom, there it is in an episode for all to enjoy. Oh. And then I don't think anyone actually replied to the question about that. Oh, my marketing. I have terrible marketing. But there is the goat to marketing. There is the goat of marketing. And that goat is Robert, aka the damn meme page. Oh my gosh, Robert, you are the king. You are the marketing behind, I'm going to say it, basically everyone's podcasts. So thank you. Thank you so much for just doing it for the lols, I guess. I think you've taken it a bit more seriously now. But mate, just chill out. Have fun. This is not serious in any way, shape or form. And to celebrate Robert, I've got a clip of the one time that I thought of the meme, and I really hoped Robert would create this meme while I was recording the episode.
Next up, we're going to be talking about the Perry bloodline. Doobie doobie doobar, doobie doobie doobar. The Perry bloodline I mentioned earlier is Frank. Perry gets a gift of transformation from his grandfather Poseidon, and
I still can't say their name. Perry Clymenus the Platypus, like doobie doob as it's just about to do the same joke. Doobie doobie doobar, doobie doobie doobar. And then Robert created the meme that was the bit that I just was in my head at the time, and that's amazing. However, also, as they are my dear friend, Robert, here's a clip especially for you.
going to have to talk through things. You're going to have to be clear. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about Julius Cain and the gods of Egypt. So, if you don't know, Julius Cain is Daddy Cain. That's who he is, Daddy Cain. Daddy to Cara and Sadie. We are talking.
Just so we're clear, I'm annoying Robert. They produced a meme when that happened, and I'm not letting that one go. But Robert has also appeared on the podcast. So episode 23, and we will now hand over to Robert and Owen of the past for a sing along. Please feel free to join in.
I can't think about your theme song anymore. I don't know why. It's just out of my brain now. Do 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 dum bum 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 bum. Owen, isn't it like almost 11?
Yeah.
It's late. Is your brain working? Are you functioning?
It's gone back up to functioning. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Woo! Round of applause for that sing along. Well done, guys. You sounded great. Because they're great. And talking of guests and Robert, let's obviously move on to Charlie, their co-host from The Bits. They joined us for the initial run of guest episodes. That run of guest episodes I had, where I had about 3 episodes in a row where they were all guests. The plan was, if you didn't work it out, the plan was in that point in time was to lead up to the classification of mythical things episode. Like that was planned out. That was gonna happen, and then I delayed it. And then the 1-year anniversary came up and went, perfect. I've got to do it for this episode. I've got to, haven't I? So that's what happens. But Charlie joined us for that run of episodes. And what were we talking about? Was it nature? Is me tree happy? No, but I'm not going to turn myself into a different form just to fix me tree not being happy. I'm just going to be tree.
And then the satyrs are like, I am the satyr. I speak for the trees.
I'm the Lorax. I speak for the trees.
Yeah?
Satyrs,
Yeah.
nymphs, same species.
Satyrs are just...
Satyrs are weird nymphs.
Yeah.
Weird nymphs?
Weird
I need a
nymphs.
yes on weird nymph.
Mutation on nymph.
They've got the X gene in. Yeah.
Yeah.
X gene nymphs. Yes, it was nature. We talked about nymphs. I just need to close that off. I think the edit will work, but right now I just need to close that off. And do you know what? Since we're talking about that run of episodes, let's talk about the other guests that came on for that run of episodes. And we'll start with Megs, who joined us for episode 34 of that run, How to Make a Monster. Hang on, what were we talking about before I start? Why did I start researching?
We were talking about monsters predating people.
Okay.
And what that means for Tartarus, I think?
Yes. So, Tartarus is early enough in the story that works, I think, is what I was trying to get at. Because it basically creates Earth, Tartarus, and is there at the same time. Gaia and Tartarus appear at the same time. So it's early enough that will make sense of a place that... And Tartarus has always been the pit that people get thrown into because it's always really hard to escape.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe... Okay.
Groovy Creeks.
Hello. This is Editing Owen here. I'm about to go off on another one. You'll find out. Anyway, I worked out what past me was trying to figure out, and why I was looking up the creation myth and stuff like that. So, hello, just Editing Owen here, Editing Owen Inception, woo! But this is current Editing Owen, not past Editing Owen. I know that's a Horrible Histories reference that just happened, but I was bad at writing notes and I forgot to color code things this one clip. Sorry.
5 years.
Great episode. And we obviously, one of the best bits of visual art I've created was that flowchart produced from that episode. I can't not mention the flowchart. The flowchart is everything to me. It's not everything to me, that's a lie. It just felt like the right thing to say at that moment in time. But that's not the first time we heard from Megs, was it? No, Megs has also come on for episode 27, where we get this lovely editing moment, if I do say so myself. Let's get hyped. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's all the housekeeping for this month. Yeah, so we'll move on to the episode now.
Hold up!
My turn.
So, it turns out housekeeping wasn't quite done yet. Hello, future editing Owen here. Thank you everyone for praising my wonderful editing and fun having. The final guest we had on that run of episodes that were supposed to lead up to Classification Myth Kings, but I bumped that down the road, is obviously Erica from Seaweed Brain.
She's like a pseudo bigot character, even though she is Mother.
Look, it's Queen! It's Mother! It's Mother!
She is the stand-in for like the obstacles that like I feel like the queer community is facing.
And I can't not mention the lasting impact that Erica had on this podcast with the musical indent that they created with their wonderful voice. Erica, so you put the question out. Why go poof? Why go poof?
Answer it now!
We'll get to that after this quick interlude. That's now going to be the interlude, just so you know.
Oh, dang.
Why do they go poof? Well, that thing lives on. It appears every so often. Anytime I have a fun episode, it's in there. Anytime I'm like, I'm bored of this music at the moment, it comes in there. It's just a great time. And also, since this is the anniversary episode and it is coming out on May 30th, if I get everything done in time, happy birthday, Erica. It is your birthday today. Happy birthday. It is crazy. It's a wild, I think it's a wild coincidence that this podcast started on your birthday. That is so funny to me. And I can't not mention it. So happy birthday to Erica from Seaweed Brain. So, as you were probably aware, while recording, I do some odd things. And then in the edit, I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if I make this even stranger? Like, editing Owen goes, you know what, recording Owen, that was a great bit. We're going to double down on it. For example, episode 24. Yes, that's right. Here we are at the beginning of the episode. So, what are we doing today? Yeah, what are we doing today? And then sometimes it is just editing Owen, you know, going, I'm bored, I'm going to have some fun. For example, episode 30. I'm so sorry. Oh no.
Wait a minute. Okay, let's go.
Okay, settle. We have not settled down. Like, there's no need for that. There was no need for that whatsoever. It was just there because I could. And some classic memes in that moment. Classic memes. And first time most of those make an appearance. Actually, the first time they all make an appearance. And they haven't quite left the podcast since that point on. But also, there's some times where editing Owen goes, I'm going to have some fun. And recording Owen was like, I'm going to be weird in this moment. And we get the melding of these two beings, two states of being, and to create bliss and magic. Example, episode 37. What is it? What was the one I did before? I've done another 2.0 before. I've done monsters before and magical items. I did magical items 2.0. Like that Superman edit is like too clean. I couldn't not put it in. It's just it just lines up so well, and I didn't know that. That is pure Owen just singing to the song that's stuck in his head, and then editing going whoop underneath, and I'm singing in time and in tune. It's just like nothing, no manipulation there, my friends. But, that's the random moments. What about the planned moments? Because, yes, there are planned bits, okay? It's not all just me out there having fun. Sometimes I have planned fun. I guess I'm still having fun, though, aren't I? For example, this entire episode is planned fun. But the prime king of planned fun? The king of planned fun is the intro to the Chit Chat episode. Hello and welcome to Through the Mist with me, your host Owen. This is a Void and Thirsty podcast where we look at the lore and try to understand how it all works. This episode, we'll be looking at... Whoa, hang on and wait a second. Why is this blank? What? Why is this blank?
Well, you see...
Come on, guys, why is this blank?
Well, you see, we haven't thought of anything for this episode.
Great, then. So what am I supposed to do?
I don't know, just have some sort of chit-chat?
I'm going to take your chi, then the chi of every panda in the chit-chat. In this chitty chat. In this chat.
Hello, everybody. Aren't I hilarious? Listening back to this episode, I must say, it is probably... I'm clearly having fun while editing this episode. I wanted to clip this episode, so much of this episode up, but I went, no, Owen, I'm holding back. We're not just going to basically listen to all the dumb edits you've done from episode 31. Because the indent edits are so... They're just huge. They are ooge, my friends. Ooge. There's also another planned bit that I can't not mention, and that is cheese. Cheese was a plan I had, and I believe it was a plan that was successfully pulled off. When we say elements magic, we're going to be talking about the basic elements, which are
water, earth, fire, air.
Cheese.
Whoa! Wallace? What are you doing here, mate? What are you chatting? Cheese can't be one of them.
Not even Wensleydale.
Not the only bit I planned. I planned the bit at the end of the episode as well, the cheese, it just saying cheese a lot and then cutting to the end. That was another plan of mine that went well, if I do say so myself. Listening back to these, I realised that I hit it a lot. I make it work. And I just, I'm not going to do them here. This is one section that we're going to talk about a bit, but not actually clip it up, because, well, it's the music indents from episode 39, because I just need everyone to be aware that those indents are music from the show, in the order that they appear in the show. The episode's about the show, so the indents were the music that was played in the show in the order that they appear in the show. Yes, the French national anthem, it was a stretch. I'll give you that. It was in the background of Krusty's shop. It was like the door opening noise. But I needed an extra indent, so we used the only other sound that is not the score only other bit of music is not the score from the show. Okay, just and like, yes. So all of those bits were pre-planned, but there's some occasions that are not pre-planned bits, but planned in a way. Like, I will, while recording an episode, go, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I do this? And then I do said thing. T-Stats, a Nico D'Angelo adventure, because T-Stats is funny. T-Stats. T-Sats. T-Sats. These are T-Sats. Or as the Americans call them, SATs. T-Sats. 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 T-C. T-Sats. T-Sats! Like I'm saying T-Swift really badly or something. T-Sats! Whoop whoop! T-Sats! The sun and the star. Okay, I said that way too many times. That's going to get cut down, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling later. Yes, I've got the sun and the star. It's come out. Yes, it's exciting. Oh, brain. Not in gears. That would never record a bad time to record it again. Okay. Okay, how long? So that's just been another 2 minutes of just recording time of me saying absolutely nothing. Audio montage. Like, I remember struggling to put that together and going, I don't know if this sounds good. I don't know if this works. Is this working? Is this working? Is that left-right thing a bit too much? I don't know. However, listening back to it now, when time has passed, it works. I like it. I enjoy it. I have fun. It is a nice moment. You can tell this is planned because I am hitting my points well today. It feels big. It feels good. Guests. So those post-planned bits or post-recording plans or while recording plans. Is there a word? Because there's pre and there's post. What's present? The present recording plans has appeared in a guest episode. In fact, it was episode 45 with Emily from Monster Donuts. And it ended up being the first ever Through the Mist post-credit scene. See through the mist! Oh, no, I wasn't supposed to fall this time. And that's a wrap. Hello and welcome to Through the Mist with me, your host, Owen. This is a Void Inverse Theory podcast where we look at the lore and try to understand how it all works. In this episode, we'll be looking at...
Damn it.
And you left the call. I'm keeping the recording on. That's...
Sorry, I got a Discord notification and closed it reflexively and then was like, wait. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Timing from my end couldn't have been more perfect. That was great. Okay. Take two. What a post-credit scene that was. Well done. Post-credit scene for them to have. And the ending on the... Right. Round two. What did I say? Take two? Take two. It's clean. It's clean. This is not the only post-credit scene. A couple of normal episodes have had post-credit scenes. I'm not going to tell you where they are because that's cheating. But this was the first ever post-credit scene. And it's a good post-credit scene. It's a classic post-credit scene. And I did get the idea from Muses of the Mythology who do a pre-show scene, like an outtake. I did it at the end. I did the end outtake. Talking of Muses of Mythology, they're the last guest we've got to talk about. Sorry, Emily. You were great. I'm moving on. I wanted to talk about the post-credit scene, which you helped beautifully orchestrate. Anyway, Muses of Mythology. I feel so bad. I did this. Oh. How can I not talk about Muses of Mythology? Like, technically, My first ever guest was Muses of Mythology. But, also only one half being Darian from Podcast of Poseidon. At the time, as they were known. Pop. And Darian is going to enjoy this fact, but it is still the longest ever episode of Through the Mist. Just for completeness, the shortest episode is episode 41. Episode 17 is the longest with Darian, and episode 41 is the shortest. However, I did seem to be wrong about something in that episode.
Unless it's in the musical, then it'll be pretty solid.
I have never interacted with anything from the musical.
There's just one song.
I see. Here's the thing. I love it. I want to see it. So I just don't. I love musicals. I'm a huge fan. I just don't listen to the soundtracks for anything until I want to see it the first time.
See, I came to the conclusion that it's never going to come over here, so I'll just listen to it anyway.
That's fair. DJ and I almost went, and then the world broke. So.
Aw, man.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's right. The musical is in the UK, and it was so good. It's still on at the moment, but about to end and then go on a UK tour. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that wild? That I was so adamant that it was just never going to come over here. And look at us now, 2025, 2020, end of 2024, into 2025 was the year of Pojo in London. Let's go. And obviously, since they were the first guest episode, they have been the latest guest episode. Which is like a nice, wholesome round circle moment. But this time it was both of them. Episode 47, both Darian and DJ came on. We got the whole contingent of muses on with us.
We never actually get the exact verbiage from that prophecy, I don't believe.
No.
Let me see
but
here. Hold on.
Yeah, DJ, look it up real quick. But we do get that the conclusion is that he or Piper will die. And Jason decides, no, it's gonna be me.
It's gonna be me.
No.
It is sad, though, that both times Darian's been on, something has gone weird with the recording. The first time it was a lot more manageable because it was just I could hear myself in Darian's audio, so I could just silence the bits when I was talking and Darian wasn't. This time, there was a whole rigmarole at the start, which meant when Darian, the wire got loose to the mic, I just thought it was the whole internet being weird, but it turned out nope, it was the mic cable, and then we didn't bother recording it. I was so happy that I got something out of that episode, and it is bearable. It is bearable, guys. Come on now. I have been pausing and stopping as per normal, but I'm not going to put the indents in usual because this is just a free flow, fun bonus episode. It's like, this is not going to be a numbered episode, It's a bonus thing. And I've had guests on my episodes. I've been guests on other people's shows. Music Mythology, Seaweed Brain, Best Dan Camp, Of the Eldest Gods, Damn Snack Bar to talk about How to Train Your Dragon. The Bits, because I was on my Owen's US Tour 2024. What? What's this? What's Owen's US Tour 2024? Well, you see, that was a party for myself. I was like, well, I don't know, and you've done things that you guys don't need to know about. I'm great at what I do. That's all I gotta say. That's ridiculous. But also, part of it was because I've made friends. And I know this is a bit cheesy and a bit oh, Owen, stop talking about yourself. Well, the podcast is the reason why. And it's cool. It's cool. There's one post out there in the world. I think there might be others, but there's one, the Musemus video, Musemus? Not Musemus, that is a separate thing. The Muses Mythology socials video of Hades going, there's been resources that you stole the master bot. I can't remember what I told Darren to say. Yes, I came up with that idea. That was my idea. I was there, but I chickened out of actually saying it. It was supposed to be me shouting it, but I chickened out. So Darian did it for me. Thanks, Darian. Yeah, I know. It's just, I made friends, okay? And some of you will be aware of the New York City 2023 podcast meetup, which was huge. Like all these friends, internet friends that we made over the COVID times, and we met up in person, and it was cool to be around cool people. Cool. It was just cool, you know? A fun fact about that trip, no one in my personal life knew that I was doing a podcast. Until I had to go, I'm going to go to New York City. Why? Well, you see, I do this podcast and I've made friends. Oh, and just isn't that amazing? And you know what? As a treat, have some clips have some audio bites from that trip of us hanging out. For me, really, and everyone that decided to listen to this that was there. But just for me. I'm putting these in for me, not for you. This is a me thing, okay? Deal with it.
Poor British boy tries Kraft mac and cheese.
Wait, I want to try it just to see if we made it right.
Oh, yeah!
I don't know if I should go for this
Okay.
one.
Okay, hold on. Let's have Megan confirm,
Yeah.
and then you get to try the good mac and cheese.
Oh yeah, this is crap. Can I have the rest of it? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait, can I have a spoon?
All right, let's see it, Owen. Guys, watch Owen eat my mac and cheese.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What if I do a fart there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
Owen approval.
Woo!
Great clips. Kraft mac and cheese is disgusting. That's all I'm going to say. I'll move on the topic. We're getting to the final stretch now. The final stretch. I've been listening to all these episodes, and I do things for me in these episodes. For example, this thing from episode 46. However, the only confirmed place that they've made it outside of Greenland is the northern tip of Newfoundland, the island, in Canada. And like the northern tip is that's as far south as they've got. As far south as they've definitely got is the northern tip of Newfoundland, the island, in Canada. Newfoundland, the island. I did it every time because it made me giggle. This episode is also the episode where we get the City of Love moment. You don't need to hear all that again. Otherwise it would be in here, as it is a great moment. No regrets there. There was also, let's be realistic here, there was also recently, I'm saying recently because of episode number, it's over 6 months ago now. There was a huge moment, not just for the Through the Mist community, but for the Pojo podcast community as a whole. And that is when Wrath came out. Also, I need to thank Rick, if you're out there. Thank you very much for the cameos in Wrath of the Triple Goddess. It was very kind. Oh, hey, it's like the right capitalization and everything. I'm fully claiming it. If you haven't read it yet, it's nothing. It's just the name of the podcast. It just says Through the Mist. At the start of a sentence at one point, so it looks like it's the title of the podcast because it's got all the right capitalizations. So yeah, thanks Rick, and thanks Erica for pointing it out, because I was late to reading because, as I said, I was on holiday. Through the Mist is in a book, baby. Through the Mist is in a book. We are the first podcast to be officially referenced in a book. It's not even official. It's the first unofficial official reference. Seaweed Brain doesn't count because otherwise they would get first, but they came out after, and like they named themselves after a thing in the book. Through the Mist is new name. I win. Let's go. Also, that holiday thing came to me when I was recording, and it's great. Holiday wasn't the only thing that came into me while I was recording that episode. The horse racing joke from Izzard, that was also this bit. It has been added to the list. Let's go. Okay, Okay, so actually episode time now, guys. Actual episode time. Don't worry about it. We're back. We're here. We're clear. And we're off.
Brown horse, slightly brown horse, slightly brown horse, brown horse. Black horse on the outside, black horse and brown horse, black horse, brown horse, little blue horse on the outside.
The blue horse from Mars. There was more Owen in the recorded version of it, but I was going like, and there was a but it didn't quite fit. It was properly, so you just get the blue horse from Mars bit that I did at the end that helps tie them together, and it's just clean sync. Also, I am keeping the Thomas the Tank Engine reference in beforehand on that clip. Busy Engines theme, if you want to know what it is. Why is it in there, I hear you ask? Because I'm doing things for me. I started humming it, I went, what's that one? And then I found it, and I went, there it is, and that's the indent. And why is it in this episode? Because I'm cool and I like myself. Talking about liking yourself, has not always happened. I've had fun, but I've not necessarily been proud of that fun. For example, the Castellan episode. Ooh, there's some dodgy things going on there with those accents. And well, it goes something a bit like this. I swear, no, that is a terrible hiding. I swear, as long as my children remain outcasts. What is he? What is that accent? Well, he's a farmer. He's a farmer. Something like that. I swear, as long as my children remain outcasts, as long as I labour under the curse of your great prophecy, the Oracle of Delphi will never have another moral host. You will never, I can't do accents. I can't hold accents. What is happening? Mate, the accents didn't even stop there. They were still bad. Like, they continue in episode 50. The next episode, they continue, and they are still horrendously inconsistent. I couldn't tell who she was talking to because she kept her eyes on the manticore. The monster wailed, "This is not fair! Direct interference! It is against the ancient laws!" And so that's Artemis doing the Artemis thing. "Luke, do not dishonor her," Hermes warned. "Your mother did her best she could. As for me, I could not interfere in your path. The children of the gods must find their own way." "Luke, I care very much," Hermes said slowly. But the gods must not interfere directly in mortal affairs. It is one of the ancient laws, especially with... So, we get more and more of, no direct interference. Sorry, kid, you're not on my level. So I was working out who was saying that, and that was Aries, so I changed the accent halfway through. I'm mad at myself for that. I'm mad at myself for losing my accenting ability. I can do it for about half a second. The only accent I can do relatively consistently is really deep and dark and this one here. However, it does make me want to be sick, so I don't really like pulling it off. I did another thing for me in this episode, episode 50, because I'm going to give you some fun facts, because fun facts are fun, and that is, I just finished watching the whole of the One Piece dub at that point. It had been recently put on iPlayer, and I decided to watch it all that was on iPlayer, so the indents were just stuck in my head. I was just humming them over and over and over again. And do you know what helped get them out of my head? Sticking them in this episode. The indents for the episode became the One Piece indents, because, brilliant, I'm clever. Got a shout out the 1 year anniversary episode. I've already mentioned this episode. I've mentioned it a few times, but great episode. Great idea, great, just all-round collaborations. I as much as I'm here for the bit. It was a great bit. It was a beautifully executed bit. And thank you, Robert, once again, for making me be able to edit you and give me the raw audio, because that wasn't that fun, being able to make to do that. Lovingly. Whatever I did, it was all out of love, but, that was fun. There was a lot. That episode was a lot. But it's weird to think that what I'm most proud of from that whole episode is this one editing moment that came out of me saying a single sentence right at the start. Anyway, now you've got the setup, it's time to tell the story. What's that from? That's a thing, isn't it?
listen up. You never listen, but now you're gonna listen, 'cause it's time you heard our side of the story. It's time you heard our story.
Bensonville is a train yard up near Chicago. And a choke picker, that's on who pick artichokes. Now you got the story. Yo.
Okay, I spent a little time trying to work out what that's from, and it's like from 3 different things. It's like a Percy Jackson reference, and it's a C6 Steve reference. Yeah, okay. Anyway. And look, I can't leave the show. I can't leave us here without a clip from the latest episode. Like, that just feels wrong to not put in episode 53. So, here is me randomly shouting through the mist when I realised I was saying it, because listening back and while editing, I did spot that I said it about 6 other times within about that 5-minute period, and I shouted it only 3. Like, I say it a lot and I shout it not enough, but you know, run that clip. But if you can see through the mist, you have the ability to become a magician. So the only prerequisite to becoming a magician is being able to see through the mist. Oh, you know what, Damien, this might be the longest episode that I've actually recorded and isn't just a whip from somewhere else, so we'll find out. But you know, it's not a numbered episode, so you'll still be winner. You will still be number 1. Anyway, talking about people listening to this podcast, a huge shout out to all of you guys listening right now, especially those that have commented and emails. There's an email suggestion that has been living in my notes for ages. I will get to it. I hope you are still listening, Haley. That's right, isn't it? Yes, Haley. I hope you're still listening, Haley. Hope you're still out there with us. You haven't been forgotten. You were in my notes. Even if you haven't emailed in or anything, shout out to all those people that have just been here from the beginning, just joining us now, just everyone listening, like the classroom full of you that there are listening to this podcast at this moment. Thank you so much to you all and all your multiverse variations of yourselves. Some people that have a multiverse within this podcast. And I'm going to shout out every single type of listener there is in the multiverse as well, because why not? However, that is not why we are here. That is not why we do what we do. That is not why you, dear listener, are listening with your ears and with this podcast. This is not why I am going slowly mad and slowly destroying my way of thinking. But that and other reasons. But we are here to make an effort to partake in wondrous speculation and try to make Rick's crazy fun for the Low's ideas make logical sense, as no one, and I mean no one, has been able to achieve this goal as well as we have as a collective, and we will never give up, we will never surrender, and we will live strong in the minds of absolutely no one. I couldn't not include that speech though, could I? That speech is basically what I'm trying to say right now, and I said it spontaneously in the middle of an episode. I can't, like, this is a clips episode. This is the 5-year retrospective. I can't not include that, can I? But don't worry, guys. This may feel like an end. No, it's just a retrospective. Like I said, there's episodes ideas still on that list. There's still more to come. Don't worry about it. The last thing to do is say thank you for indulging this podcast. If you have any favourite moments from this podcast that you want to share with me, you can always email foo.t.myth@gmail.com, or you can send a DM on Instagrams @foo_myth, and also on Threads, because 5 years we're joining Threads as a celebrationary thing, because why not? Anyway, make sure to like the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, follow the podcast, whatever you do to help get the podcast out there, because you guys are great. I've been Owen, and you've been
Fran, Katie,
Erica,
Megs,
Charlie,
Brayden,
Emily,
Robert, aka the Damien Page,
DJ, Darian,
and come back next time as we try to see through